you're a business owner and you're not making calls with AI yet, you're potentially leaving deals and dollars on the table. In this video, I'm going to show you how to build an AI outbound caller that can call a long list of people so that you can have an offer or a message that you want to share with your clients and have AI do the calling for you. Now, I will provide all the templates in the description so you can follow and you can then adjust it for your specific use case. But if you're interested to see how voice AI or this specific outbound caller can actually look in your business, then I do offer 5 free consultation slots, which you can find in the first link in the description. And with that said, let's jump into a demo so you can see how it works. All right, so now we're waiting for a call to come in. And here we go. We're getting the phone ringing right now. Hello?
Hello, this is Serena calling from the Water Spa. I thought you might be interested. Do you have a quick moment?
Yeah, sure.
Wonderful. Welcome, you guys. Offering a 25% discount on your first massage or facial. When was the last time you treated yourself to some proper relaxation?
It's been a while. Not sure exactly when, but it's definitely been a while.
Whether it's been a while or you're due for your next one, taking time for yourself is so important. To make sure we book the perfect treatment for you and apply that 25% discount, would you like me to schedule a brief chat with one of our spa coordinators or perhaps look for an appointment time right now?
Yeah, sure. That'd be great.
Great. I can see we have your name as Mo and number as +1 25125. Are those details correct?
That's good. Awesome. So to give you an idea of what we're building today, we're going to be building an outbound caller or outbound dialer that is going to basically get our so people from the CRM, which we're going to use, and that's Airtable. And we're going to basically connect Airtable, which we have the list of people that we are working with, and call them through VAPI. And all of this is happening in NA10. And if I were to just quickly draw it here, we're basically initiating the flow from NA10. So that means that we have all the logic here in NA10. And then what we're doing is that we're going to check in Airtable. Hey, is there anyone that hasn't been called yet and that we need to call? Because what we're doing in Airtable is that we're marking people with a call status. So as you can see, I was demoing before and I got called, but what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put this back into pending, because what pending means is that we need to call this person. So this is basically saying call this person whenever the workflow is triggered. Now, once we have let's go back to our here. So once we have checked in Airtable for all the people that haven't been called yet, what we're going to do is that we're going to send that data back into NA10. And maybe let's mark this as 1 and 2. And then what we're doing is that once we understood, okay, this is the person that we need to call, what we're going to do is that we're going to fire off VAPI to call that person. So we will just do it like that and mark it as 3. And here, basically, we're saying we're taking all the information that we got in step 2. So name, phone number, and any specific details that you might add yourself. And we're using that data to basically call people through VAPI. And after the call happens, what we can do is basically update again Airtable. So in this case, we're keeping it simple and we're just giving like, hey, the call was successful, so this person has been already called. Or no, there was actually an error, and we mark it here in the call status. So as you can see, there's 3 statuses. One is pending, which means that we're waiting to call this person. One is actually called. So this is when everything went well and we went through the person. And then we have an error status. So that means that we are getting an error. And as you can see here from the workflow, we have the make VAPI call and we have success and error. And whenever there's an error, of course, we're going to mark that in Airtable as well. Awesome. So that was a general overview. Now, to get you set up with this specific workflow, I'm going to be leaving the template that I have here in NA10 so that you can have this exact workflow yourself. Now, I split this template into 2 parts, and to make it clear for you, we have a Airtable and VAPI setup, which basically allows us to, by just clicking here, so in the upper part, this will create you this specific table, so the lead list, and this specific config section. Now, the lead list is where we add all the people that we want to call. So for example, if I had multiple people, I mean, here I have all my data, but I'm going to just add, multiple people here. And yeah, basically what we're going to do is all the people that we have here, as long as we have them as pending, we're going to call them. And actually I can demonstrate that to you so you can properly understand. So let's just duplicate this. And let's say that, we have 3 people, and let's say that one person has been already called. Now, if we go back into NA10, you can see, I'm gonna just stop it here. And you can see who are the people that we get. That's true. You can see 2 items. So 2 people, because those are the people that we have identified as, hey, these need a call because they are marked as pending. Anyways, so the upper part here is going to give us the table, and the lower part here is going to build us the VAPI agent, basically directly into our VAPI account. Now, there is a few things that we need to set up to get to that point, but first things first, you want to make sure that you have an NA10 account. There is a 14-day trial that you can go for, and it's going to basically get you set up with this workflow. And you want to have an Airtable account, which is basically free up until 1,000 rows. And you also have VAPI. Now, I will leave a link for VAPI. I have a referral link that you can use to get yourself set up with a little goodie. But anyhow, make sure that you have this entire setup to be working. Now, I'm assuming you have it already. If you haven't, please pause the video and then go ahead and get yourself set up. Now, what we want to do to have everything in our Airtable is that we want to get a API key. Now, it's a bit tricky to do it in Airtable. It's often confusing, but I'm going to guide you through that right now. So where you want to go is go into, like your, let's go back to the homepage. And in the homepage, what you want to do is go into your little icon or the name. And then you want to go down into integrations. Actually, no, I think I was wrong. So it's the Builder Hub. Yeah, exactly. And in the Builder Hub, what you're going to go for is click on Create Token. And what you need to do is, add a name for this specific token that you're building here. And then what you want to do is add scopes. And the scopes that I recommend are data records read, data records write. I also go for schema-based read because, this allows us to understand, let's say, the schema of the Airtable, the tables that we have, or the specific databases that we're working with. And these are enough for you to set up. So make sure to have these. And then what you want to do is you want to add your base. So there is a little detail that I forgot to mention here. But basically you want to build, you cannot do it from here. But what you can do is either you create your base already. I have it, let's say I have my base already, or you can just say all current and future bases in this workspace. And you can toggle that on. That will basically give you all access to your bases that you're going to create next. It's up to you. But if you have already a base that you want to target specifically, then do that. Like select the specific base that you need. If you don't, and you just want to have access to all the bases, just click as we did. So all current and future bases in this workspace. Now you're going to put your name, you're going to click create token, and this will basically give you a little code that you want to copy and save in a safe place, because you will not be able to get it again. Now I have this API key already, and I have it set up in NA10, so I don't need to do that, but you do that for yourself. And once you have that code, I actually closed them. You need to go back into Airtable and click on, into NA10, and you click on the nodes of Airtable. And what you're going to do is you're going to create, you probably will not have this that I have here, but it will ask you basically to create new credential, and you basically copy and paste. So you paste basically here the code that you got from before, and then you save, and then you should be basically good to go. Now, let's close and make sure, so you have it for those first two nodes here. So you have to have the Airtable personal access key token selected here, and same right here. Now, once you're there and you have set up your API keys, what I want you to do, save. What I want you to do is to go back into Airtable, and let's go to the homepage. And please like create yourself like a build your app on your own. I mean, and then you will have like an untitled base. So please make sure that you have something like this set up, and then go back into NA10. So what you will want to do now, once you have your empty table, so in my case I have it already ready, but actually let's do it together. So I have my untitled base, and what you need is, you will see when you go to the link, you will see airtable.com, and then after that you will see a little ID, which is basically what comes after the dash, and like what's between the two slashes. You want to copy that bit of that ID. Then you want to go back into NA10, and you go into the create lead, and also, I mean, in those two nodes, you will click there, and then you will go to the URL, and then what you want to do is you want to change this code, like this ID here. So after bases and before tables, you change that, and that's basically going to create the lead table in the in the specific base that we have. So let me actually try it, and I will execute, and you will see that something has been created. And if I refresh, I basically, as you can see, I have the lead list right here, which has been created, which is awesome, which is what we need. I'm actually going to delete the stable one because we don't really need that. And we basically need to do the same thing for the create config table. So we go here, we go again into the URL, and then we change that and we paste that here. And again, I mean, I'm going to pin this one because we already worked with it. So let me just activate it, and boom. Now we have also the config table set up. And this is literally everything we need to do in Airtable. So you just have to change that ID, put your API key, and then you're ready to go. Awesome. So now that we have the Airtable set up, we want to get you set up also in VAPI. So similar to what we did before, we need the VAPI API key so that we can create the assistant directly into your specific VAPI account. So now, once you have created your VAPI account, what you want to do is you want to click on more. Actually, no, sorry, in API keys. So there is this lock here with the API keys. And then you want to copy this private key here. You copy the ID, and then you go back into NA10. You will see the section here that says bearer auth. You will, I mean, for me, I have it already, but you will create a new credential for yourself, and basically you will paste your bearer token right there. You save, and basically you're set up for your VAPI part. And what you need to do next is just to click here, and boom, you're set. So if you go in VAPI and you go into your assistants, not here, but here, you will see, I mean, I have it now 2 times because I mean, I will delete the latest one because I already have the agent, and you will see that it's already all filled up. You don't have to do anything. It's basically good to go. All right, so I'm going to delete that. Deleting. Yeah, and then now we are left with just a few things. So we need to copy the ID of the assistant. So please copy that. And then what you need to do next is go in the Airtable base, and then you want to go to the config, and you want to put the assistant ID here. So you see assistant ID section, you put it there. I mean, you can give this a name, whatever you want. I'm going to just call it AI Outbound caller. And then we have the VAPI phone number, which we will be getting from VAPI. So you want to click on phone numbers here, and you can create a new phone number. I have mine already, but you can just select a number. You click and create. It's probably going to give me error because it's always like that. And then it will give you some hints like try these ones, one of these ones. I'm just going to copy one of the codes and then create, and then you will have your phone number. Now, it might take a minute to fully sync with the phone number, but what you want to do is basically just copy the ID of the phone number, and then you come here into Airtable again, and you paste your new VAPI phone number. Or paste the ID of it. Awesome. So now what you're left with is just to populate this area. You put your name, you put your phone number, and make sure that the phone number has a plus, like it's with a plus, else it will not work and it will give you error. But yeah, populate the personal information from your site. And when it comes to the call status, make sure to put it as pending. For myself, I have already everything set up from before, so I basically deleted the table that we have before. But anyways, you now have your base, and what you want to do now, so now is the last step for this entire system. What you want to do now is make sure that all these Airtable nodes are actually set up correctly. So what you want to do, because probably this is not properly set up on your case, what you want to do is you want to have the API token key that we had created before in Airtable when we were creating the tables. You want to just select them and make sure that you have the correct base. So in this case, I have my correct VAPI AI Outbound dialer. Make sure to select your own, however you want to call it, but make sure to have that correctly set up for all the Airtable nodes. So do also that for the second node. You click so make sure that you have the connection, the credential connected, of course, and then also when it comes to the base specifically. And do the same thing here for the update Airtable status and update Airtable error status. With that, you are basically good to go. Now, if you have, so I want to give you just quickly an overview of how this works in case, you want to have a deeper understanding. So what's happening here is that we're, triggering the workflow, and in the first part, we're basically getting the configs. So that is everything that we have put here. So what is the assistant ID and what is the VAPI phone number ID? So that we basically get that information to, we get it because this information, we use it to then get the phone number and the assistant from VAPI. And once we have collected that information, we go next and we actually want to get the people that we need to call. And what's happening right here is that we're filtering for people who have the call status that is different, as you can see here, than called. So if you're called, we're not interested in you. We're only interested in you if what you have as a status is different than called. So we're basically getting everyone that is pending or has error or is just empty. So that is the core idea. And what we're doing here is that we will have multiple people, most likely. We're going to loop over these people. So we have this list, and we will loop one by one the people that we need to call. And ideally, I mean, in this case, we're just using it as an example, but ideally what you're going to do is that once you loop and you make the VAPI phone call and it went successfully, what you're going to do is that you're going to wait for 1 minute. Now, this is something that I put myself as a placeholder, but you can put like as, seconds or whatever you want. But bear in mind that VAPI has a concurrency of 10 calls per session or per minute. So you don't want to go beyond that. So I just put like a precaution, a wait of 1 minute. But really now we don't need it. We just want to test it. But if you were to take it to a live situation, you want to make sure that you're not hitting the concurrency right away with all the people that you're going to call, of course. Yeah, so basically that is the entire build. And just to demonstrate it to you, actually let's put this one to a few let's put it to 1 second just to have it like work. We did the demo before, but just to show you how everything flows. So we're getting the configs, we get the leads, we get the call, and now I also get the call, coming into my phone. I'm gonna decline it because we did the demo before. But yeah, you see that basically we waited for a second, and then we checked, is there anyone else that we need to call? No, not really. Okay, then we are done. But if we were to have other people, it would basically loop again and again until we finish the list of people. And if we go back into our VAPI, into our Airtable, we can see that the call status has been changed to called. That's because here, when it comes to the number 4 node, we're basically updating the status to called. And here, if an error actually happens, we're updating the status to error. So that was it for how to set up a AI outbound dialer that you might use for specific situations where you have a list of people that you want to call. Now, I do recommend using this for use cases where you have interacted already with a database of people that have interacted with you in the past. I don't necessarily recommend it for cold calling people, because cold calling people, that entails having a very unstructured and unpredictable call flow, and that's not generally a good use case for voice AI agents, as you generally want something that is more predictable, more repeatable, that you can prompt with. When it comes to cold calling, that is generally a very dynamic it's a situation, because you might hit gatekeepers, so I strictly advise against using it for cold calling specifically. If you enjoyed this and you want to see if this could be something that would be interested for your specific business, then I do invite you for a free consultation calls, which you can find in the first link in the description. You can pick your slot and basically have a session with me directly. If you're interested in learning how to set up your first voice AI agent, let's say when it comes to setting up everything in VAPI more thoroughly, then I do invite you for this specific video where I show you how to build your first agent end-to-end in less than 10 minutes. See you there.